Paradise season 15, episode 3, and this for the after party, y'all. You know I do separate videos on all the different couples and the after party, so this is the after party video. But on this after party was Lindy, Alexis, and Stacia. And their drink of the day was the blushing bride, because we got to see the weddings of Lindy. We got to see more of Alexis's wedding and Stacia's wedding. It was a champagne cocktail with some peach schnapps and some grenadine. It sounded delicious. I might have to mix up that drink at my house and see what it tastes like. But I like that Stacia look. She looked better this time, y'all. Last week I told you she came with a business suit. This time she actually looked like she was going out, and she was cute. Like Nate said, she's cute in the face and small in the waist. She had on a cute little bustier. I really like that. I thought that Alexis looked good. I thought Lindy was very nervous on this after party. She just seemed like she was like a deer in headlights. She seemed very nervous. She had on a kind of a plain Jane girl, kind of fits who I think Lindy is. She's no frills. But I think she was really nervous on this after party. But if they started talking about what was Stacia's first impression when she saw Nate, and she was like, oh, I was physically attracted to him. She said really physically attractive. I mean, she really liked what she saw. She said when she was walking down the aisle, she barely could lift her head up. Like I said, Stacia was looking down at the ground the whole time when she was saying the vows, when she was talking to him. I was like, girl, put your head up, look into his eyes. But you know, she don't want nobody looking in her eyes. She don't want you to see her soul. She's so protective over her soul and her heart. She was like, I don't even want you to see me through my eyes. They started talking about, oh, what's this about you sleep with your eyes open? I was like, oh, Stacia, she don't never want to be caught off guard. She like looking at you through one eye. That's something when you don't close your eyes at night, you always on alert. Girl, I know you tired. But they were asking her about how do you feel about Nate selling fake Louis Vuittons back in the day, and fake this and fake Gucci and fake whatever everything we're saying. And she said she wasn't bothered by it. She said she knew he was a hustler, and she said as long as it was in his past, she was okay with it. And I like that answer. Like I told you in the video I did for Nate and Stacia, please check it out if you haven't seen it. Stacia was showing more of her heart, not only in this after party, but in her episode. And I was really liking what I saw about her. I thought she was going to be the ice princess and cold-hearted. But let me tell you, she was really opening up. And on this after party, even more of her personality come through. In fact, she was the one that had to check Alexis on the fact that Alexis was calling out her husband, Justin, over the fact that he was celibate. I don't know if you guys saw the episode, but in the episode, Justin tells Alexis that he's been celibate for 1.5 years. And then Alexis be screaming to the whole wedding, he's celibate, he's celibate. And it was Stacia who had to tell her, girl, you need to have a little bit more empathy, sympathy, and have a little bit more heart, and not go so hard on your husband and screaming that to the world. It was actually Stacia who had to tell Alexis. But Alexis was still full force. I tell you, Alexis has no filter. I talk about it in my video with her. She don't have no filter. She loves to keep it real. Even if it means putting somebody else down, she want to keep it real. That ain't always a good trait. Alexis was talking more about how she got kind of like OCD. She really clean. She said her apartment building, she said her house where she lives looks like a model home because it's so clean, and people tease her and say she don't really live there. So Nate was like, oh, how clean are you? Okay, he said he's going to have to step up his game because he said he's clean, but he may not be as clean as Stacia. But she was laughing at that. She seemed very relaxed, very comfortable on the stage and everything. So I was getting good vibes from Stacia. You know, they had some questions for Lindy. They said, Lindy, what are you scared of at this point? Anything? And she would say she's just scared that she knows she can have a big personality and that can scare off some people. So we already know Lindy's warning us, her friends are warning us, her family's warning us. We must go see some explosions by Lindy. But in my video this last week, I said, okay, I could see a scenario where she and Miguel could work out, because there could be a scenario where Miguel actually is excited and likes all the neuroticism that Lindy might bring to the table. He may not be as turned off by it as some other people. So don't forget to watch my video on Lindy and Miguel so you can hear my whole theory on how I can see how those two could work out. But it's interesting because it was Stacia of the 3 women, it was Stacia who was bringing the level-headedness to the conversation. Lindy was talking about her neuroticism, and then, like I said, Alexis just likes to talk. She just likes to talk unfiltered. And it was Stacia who always seemed to bring some calm and rationale to to the discussion, and I was really vibing with Stacia on this after party. And then they started getting into this whole discussion about Justin and how women see him as a piece of meat because he's tall, and they wonder about is he tall in other areas. And you know what? Even though I was making fun of it last week because I didn't think nobody would do that, even Alexis was saying she thought about it for a minute as well, and that's why she was concerned about him saying she was celibate. But then I thought she was kind of trying to shade him, talking about, I don't know why anybody would look at Justin as a piece of meat. So I don't know if she was trying to say that, he's not macho and no woman would ever be attracted to him. But then she started cleaning it up as if, oh no, I thought that she misunderstood the question. So right now, I don't know where it stands. I can't tell if she's attracted to him or not. I know people think she's not attracted to him, but I'm not so sure about that. I know she shades him. I know she says little undercut things, but I also think that's a part of Alexis's personality. I don't think that necessarily means she's not attracted to him. I think that she's that type of person that likes to just tell it the way it is, even if it hurts the person's feelings. And I don't think she thinks twice about how Justin might feel about it. I think she just says it. But one of the things Alexis started getting into was when Justin was, kind of fawning over her and telling her, he could see himself falling in love with her. And then Keisha Napoleon was like, well, how did you feel about that? And she was like, oh, I saw it as a red flag. I was like, what? A red flag? What's going on? What's going on, Alexis? Alexis, I'm from the mental health field. I used to be a mental health counselor. I was like, a mental health counselor? What does that have to go with this statement? She tried to basically say because Justin was already saying he could see himself falling in love with her, that he was moving too fast, he was invested too soon. How you know you can fall in love with me so soon and you don't even know me? First of all, Alexis, that's not what he said. He didn't say that he was in love with you. He said he could see himself falling in love with you, but then she took it to a whole nother level. This is just like this engagement 3 times. I think Alexis blows up situations more than what they are. Just like when she talked about she was engaged 3 times, I said, girl, that don't count as no engagement in high school. Now she over here talking about Justin's too in love with her already. He didn't say he was in love with you, Alexis. What are you doing? I think Alexis likes to elevate herself, and she blows up situations, and she tries to make herself seem more desirable, and everybody wants her more than what it is. I'm not trying to put her down, but I keep seeing these scenarios where Alexis puts herself and how she's so attractive to people, and everybody wants her really, really high up here. I did not think that's what Justin was saying, and I didn't think it should have been a mental health warning of a red flag. Goodness, Alexis, I think she just took that too far. But she came back and she started saying he makes her happy, he makes her feel comfortable. She was saying that this moment, they asked them to rank where they are on the scale of a 1 to 10. She said she was at an 8.5, and the only reason she didn't go to a 10 was because, she keeps a little realism and said, it can't be a 10, I just met him. But she said she was at 8.5. Lindy too. Lindy said she was at 8.5. She couldn't give a 10 because she wanted to leave room for a little realness in there to say that, of course, there's got to be room for improvement. But you know who gave that man a 10? Stacia. Stacia was like, I'm at a 10, girl. I'm at a 10. I was loving it. Here is Stacia, so controlled, so wound up tight. She gave her man a 10. Whether or not it's a 10 or not, you know what I like? I like that she went there. I like that she went for it, that she gave her man a 10. Let me tell you, we thought Stacia was going to be the more closing one, and Alexis, who said she has done all this growth and, all this self-awareness, we're actually finding that Stacia has more nicer things to say. She's more supportive than Alexis. Alexis says she's done all this growth, but it seems like what she's done is she's done growth, but she's still picking apart Justin. She said that was her problem. She said she was looking for a perfect guy, and she said she's over it, but I don't think she's over it. I still see her picking apart Justin. And the other part of it was like, it's so ironic that she picks him apart, because she talks about that when, years ago, she had to do a lot of work on loving herself and loving her body. She said that's how she got into doing these so-called vagina modes, because part of it was her learning to love her own body. And I'm thinking to myself, so someone who's gone through this journey, who didn't love themselves for whatever reason, definitely because of physical appearance, how can you be so harsh on another person? I would think you would have some sympathy and empathy. But you know what? She doesn't have it. She seems to be very critical of Justin. And this is the part about Alexis that I'm not liking. I sure hope she's not going to be that person that can look outward and tell you what's wrong with that person, but she can look inward to see the things she needs to work on. Because right now she's giving me that vibe and I'm not liking it. But they all talked about how it was so ironic or just really fake that they each gave their spouses kind of the same gifts. Like we know Nate and Stacia both gave each other Polaroids as their wedding gift, which was so much alike. They talked about that Miguel gave Lindy a picture of a map, talking about let's travel the world together, not as strangers, but as foreigners together in a new land. And then Lindy said she had given him a passport cover and I think like some luggage tags or something, both signifying travel. So they were in sync with that. And then they talked about how Justin and Alexis both gave each other cards or something that says like, let's take one day at a time. And each of them kind of use that same phrase at one day at a time. So it sounds like all these couples are kind of on the same page already, even before they got to know each other. So I thought that was a cute little connection between them all. But anyway, that was the after party. But please be sure to watch my videos on the other couples. At the end of all my videos, there are links to like 2 of the different videos. But if you go through the videos, eventually you'll get to see all the videos, or you can go to my home page and you could also just click on the video itself and watch the videos. But I know everybody wasn't excited about these couples, but you know what? It is starting to get exciting. I'm starting to get in these couples. And even though I was down on them in the beginning, I didn't see a lot of these matches making it. I actually can start to see some scenarios when they could make it with a few changes. Stacia and Nate is one of them. I really didn't think they could make it, but I'm starting to have glimmers of hopes with these two. I'm actually seeing scenarios when they could make it. I'm also seeing glimmer of hopes with Lindy and Miguel where they could make it. Ben and Morgan, maybe a little bit. The only one I'm still solid on that I don't think can make it is Kristen and Mitch, because Mitch, he's Mitch with a B. That's what he is. Mitches get stitches, and he's Mitch with a B. Substitute the M out, put a B in, and that's what I think of Mitch right now. Anyway, y'all, talk to you later. Bye.